It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling.
Hi guys! For today's video, I am going to be creating room decor that looks like food. I somehow failed to mention the food will be fall themed. Delectable. Let's get started making these life-size fall room decor objects. Okay, so for our first fall food decor idea, we're starting with these ping pong balls. I also have a pack of cupcake picks. I think the idea with these is that you stick them in a cupcake. We're not doing that though. Instead, we are going to be stabbing our ping pong balls and hot gluing the picks into the inside of the ping pong balls. Why is that so fun to say? Ping pong ball, ping pong ball. I'll stop. I repeated this process for all of the ping pong balls until I had 6 of these guys. This is 3, but I had 6. And now it's time to start painting these cake pops. The first cake pop is going to be a dark chocolate color. This kind of looks like a reddish color, but as I layered it, it started to look more like chocolate. I took out some white puffy paint or white slick paint. This has more of a texture to it, so when you put it on top of the cake pop, it really makes it look like a white chocolate icing. After that was done, we needed some sprinkles. I personally did not want to go through the long and annoying process of creating clay sprinkles, so instead, I decided to cut my ribbon into tiny little slivers. I was trying to mimic the look of those iridescent, almost see-through sprinkles. They're called sugar crystals, and they melt in your mouth. Up next, we're dipping into this orange color, and I'm painting it all over the cake pop. It's a ping pong ball. What? I'm taking out some green puffy paint, and we are indeed creating a pumpkin-themed cake pop. If you've seen my Draw Your Journal episode with the unpopular opinion page, I think we know my unpopular opinion on pumpkin flavoring. However, this is a fall food decor idea video, so there will be several objects that are pumpkin flavored. Up next, we're dipping into this lime green kind of color. Maybe it's more of a leafy green, I would say. A grass green? No, a light lime. I don't know. After this is totally green, I'm taking out my black puffy paint, and I am going to be creating a wig. It might not be a wig. And if it's not a wig, I mean, he's really got a nice set of hair and a scar across his forehead because yes, we are indeed creating Frankenpopstein. Oh yes, Frankenpopstein. My best science project yet. Frankie, Francis. Up next, I'm dipping into this tan color that has been contaminated. I started off by painting the top portion of this cake pop with the tan color, and then I moved on to an orange color for the center. At first I thought, let me make this a very blended candy corn, but then I changed my mind. No, we're not doing any of this. The blending was all wrong, and we needed very clean lines for this to look like corn. Not real corn, candy corn. Next cake pop. I decided to create a very textured paint look with very thick lines that were kind of wrapped around the ping pong ball. Ping pong ball, ping pong ball. I thought doing this would make it look like the ping pong ball is a mummy. I wanted the eyes to look like they were very large and kind of bulging out of the mummy's head because I want the mummy to look like he's a little bit scared and possibly screaming. It's fall themed, someone's gotta be scared. I've made the eyebrows look a bit surprised, and I've given him a screaming, large mouth. You seem upset. Up next, we're dipping into this warm yellow color. After the cake pop was painted yellow, I took out several different puffy paints that had a fall theme and just kind of squirted them around the cake pop. I feel like this cake pop design is one of the most common I've seen in real life, and it's because it's really easy to do. After that, I took out my glossy decoupage and I painted it over each of my cake pops. I applied this for 2 reasons. The first reason is I just wanted to seal the paint in so it didn't scratch off. And the second reason is because I feel like in real life, chocolate often looks very shiny, and the glossy finish will make this look more realistic. Now we need something to help our cake pops stand up and be displayed. You can display your cake pops however you want, but these are foam pumpkins that I got from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was really cute and pretty and just an easy way to stick your cake pops in something and make it look like a really pretty fall food decor. I love this craft because it's very simple, it's very easy, and there are limitless ideas. All you need are ping pong balls, toothpicks, and some paint, and you can truly create endless amounts of cake pops. I feel like this is my new Easter egg painting activity for all seasons. Let's move on to our next fall food decor idea. Apple pie. This project, I have to say, it looks like the most intimidating project in this video. It looks like it's actually the hardest to create, but the secret is, it's the easiest. The main thing you need for this project is some clay. I'll be using Crayola's air dry clay just because it's the easiest for me to use, but use whatever you want. Treat the clay like dough. You really want to just pretend that you're actually creating a real apple pie with some real dough. Cut the dough into strips and then layer it in the same woven pattern that you would with any other apple pie. After that was done, I took the pie lid and secured it to the bottom tin and let that dry overnight. That's dry, and now it's time for some paint. To make this as easy as possible, I was looking for a very good base color that represented as a whole what an apple pie looks like after it has just been baked. Then I went and moved to the darker shades. I took a dark brown color and kind of stuck it in all of the little gaps between the woven clay. After the darker shading was done, I moved on to a highlight color. The highlights are supposed to look like the shiny parts of this apple pie, and it really makes it look a little more realistic. After that, I took a dry brush and kind of just brushed it over the whole thing to blend things together and make it look even more realistic. This is an optional step, but I did add some sparkles to the top to look like sugar crystals. Overall, I only used 3 colors on this apple pie. I started with that mustardy yellow color, added my dark brown, and then added a lighter shade for the highlight. You could probably go crazy with this and do a bunch of different shades and make it look even more realistic than I got it to look. I love this craft because it's so easy to do, and it's also really cool to have like a fake apple pie just sitting somewhere in your house as like a decor item. It looks like a real apple pie, but it's not. It's fun. Okay, next food decor. We have this orange mug that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm stuffing it with anything I can really find in my house that's garbage. I'm also taking out some cardboard, and what I'm gonna do is actually trace the top of this mug onto the cardboard and then cut the circle out. You want to cut the circle a little smaller than the traced circle so that you can stick it into the mug. After that has been secured with hot glue, I'm taking out this cake decorating tip set. I got this from the Dollar Tree, and basically these are little tips that would normally go on icing. I, however, am going to be sticking this onto caulk. Caulk is like a home improvement type of thing. You use it on windows and maybe like walls. I don't know, I'm not a handy woman. But I do know that when this dries, it dries in a hard consistency, but it keeps its shape. So this is actually the perfect thing to apply to the top of a mug and make it look like you have whipped cream on a pumpkin spice latte. To add some more decorations, I took out these fall-themed straws. I chose the striped one, cut it in half, and stuck it into our
whipped cream.
I also added some sprinkles to the top of the whipped cream and took out my brown Posca paint pen. I used this brown pen at first to write "spice it up" on the mug, and I actually really like the way this turned out because you can kind of still see the brown underneath the black as a drop shadow. On the other side of the mug, since this is a pumpkin spice latte, I did decide it was only right to draw a pumpkin on an orange mug. I realized that this is actually a jack-o'-lantern on the back. I know some people will be like, this is a jack-o'-lantern! A pumpkin doesn't have a face! Please get it right! I like this craft in particular because I've seen people use caulk for whipped cream and different creamy substances for years, and I've always wanted to try it. Let's move on to our next craft, which will actually also involve some caulk. I picked up some mini cupcake holders. No, I feel like it's foil, cupcake foil. We're gonna go with that. I got a small one and a large one, and I filled it with clay. The clay is supposed to be the cupcake part of this cupcake. And then I took out my caulk. In this case, the caulk is going to represent our vanilla icing on a cupcake. Because I was getting kind of bored of the same ribbon sprinkles I had been sprinkling on everything, I took out this ribbon, which has a lot of glitter in it, and I chopped it up into pieces. And I used that for the sprinkles on these two cupcakes. I did have some extra cupcake picks, and I decided to decorate one of them as a pumpkin. The only problem is, as it dried, it started to form into the shape of the skull again. So it's like a pumpkin, but it also kind of looks like a skeleton. Although I really like vanilla icing, I feel like it would be more fun if I mixed some caulk with some colors and created different flavors. I have been having so much fun coming up with all of these different fall food decor ideas, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. If you want to see more room decor ideas, I have a playlist linked in one of these two boxes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week for another video. Bye!